Why are older parents a source of more genetic mishaps? Is it the father or the mother who determines the sex of the child? What is the cause of Down syndrome? We'll try to answer these and similar questions in today's episode of the series Secrets of Genes, in which I welcome you. My name is Edward Kalinovsky, and I work as a geneticist at the Institute of Biophysics of the Czech Academy of Sciences. Which parent passes on more hereditary mishaps to their offspring? Fathers or mothers? People always talk only about the risks associated with older mothers, yet the same holds true for older fathers as well. According to experts, the decline in fertility is notably even more drastic than global warming. It is happening incredibly fast within just a few generations. To a certain extent, it is true that fathers are the source of more genetic mishaps, but also of genetic improvements. In general, men simply pass on more genetic changes to their offspring than mothers do. What is the explanation for this? In men, the likelihood of genetic damage is higher than in women, because men produce sperm throughout their lives, whereas women do not make a lifelong supply of eggs during puberty as men do with sperm. The fresh material for evolution, that is, mutations, mostly come from men because their DNA mutates much more during sperm maturation, meaning the letters of the genetic code A, C, G, and T change more than DNA does during the formation of eggs. It is said that there are twice as many mutations in the male germline as in the female germline. The sex of the child is also always determined by the father, because as we know, if his sperm carries an X chromosome, a daughter is conceived. If it carries a Y chromosome, a son is born. You might argue that, for example, in the case of Down syndrome, the mother's age is also very important. Yes, that's true. Although advanced age is a risk factor for both sexes, chromosomal aneuploidy, that is, a different number of chromosomes than the usual 46, occurs more frequently in older pregnant women. This risk increases with the mother's age. By the time a woman reaches the age of 40 years old, the risk is approximately 1 in 85. It further increases to 1 in 35 at the age of 45. The occurrence of chromosomal mutations, that is, an abnormal number of chromosomes compared to normal, which leads to Down syndrome, is about 30 times more frequent in mothers over 45 than in mothers in their 20s. In the case of Down syndrome, are there more or fewer chromosomes? That's right. These individuals have one extra chromosome. Specifically, chromosome number 21 appears 3 times instead of the normal 2, which we refer to as trisomy. Chromosome 21 is the most common extra chromosome, but the same can also happen with chromosome 13, which is then called Patau syndrome, or with chromosome 18, known as Edwards syndrome. The chromosome itself is normal. These people simply have one extra, which disrupts the finely tuned network of relationships within the cell. It's as if we added an extra functional key to a piano, which wouldn't do any good either. We would disrupt the balance and harmony. Routine pregnancy screening specifically focuses on the possibility of errors in these chromosomes. This is because they are associated with serious congenital heart and brain defects. Trisomies of other chromosomes are not examined prenatally, as they are usually incompatible with life, and if the embryo carries them, then sooner or later it stops developing, and the child simply isn't born. Why are the sex cells of older parents more affected? The process of reduction division, known as meiosis, whose goal is to reduce the number of chromosomes in the egg by half, begins already during fetal development and is completed only just before the girl's body, after reaching puberty, releases the egg during the menstrual cycle. The older a woman is, the longer her eggs have been waiting to complete the final step of this reduction division. And the longer they wait, the more likely it is that something will simply go wrong with them, that the eggs will accumulate some mutations under the influence of the environment. The reduction of the number of chromosomes by half during the formation of eggs and sperm is necessary to prevent the number of chromosomes from doubling with each newly created individual. The cause of the extra chromosome in Down syndrome is a process called non-disjunction, which is an error in the separation of chromosomes during the reduction division, meiosis. This non-disjunction most often occurs on the mother's side, that is, during the development of the egg. That's all for today. We've talked about a few interesting facts from the field of human reproduction and genetics. In the next episode, we'll continue with more interesting facts from genetics and evolution. I'm looking forward to seeing you. If you enjoy my storytelling, I would appreciate a like and a subscription to my channel. I really appreciate your support. Thank you and bye-bye.